Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 Random Questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today's guest is professional boxer Gerald McClellan Jr. How you doing, Gerald?
Hey, I'm real, man. Hey, how you doing? How y'all doing?
Um,
Truth and Company Boxing Podcast.
we appreciate you coming on, and for the fans out there, if you just recognize that last name, that's right. He is the son of the two-time world champion, Gerald McClellan.
I go by the name SOG, baby. That's son of Gerald.
So, personally, your dad's nickname should have been the Beast because he was the Beast. Probably one of the hardest hitting middleweights ever.
And he was like him and Julian Jackson. Like both of them was at the top of the food chain, man. So like, in order to be in the midst of the warfare, like with some true animals, you got to get past either one of them, and you got to see one of them, or John the Beast Mugabe. You know, that's a hell of a fighter too.
And your dad was in the ring with both of them.
Mm-hmm. And beat both of them.
Yeah, that says a lot right there.
Just beating one of those names right there would put your name in the history books, but beating two of those, oh man, that's crazy.
So before we get to talk to your fight, now that we're on the topic of your dad, just so the fans get to know the ones that are familiar with them anyways, and maybe some of the new generation fans, how is your dad doing these days?
My dad good. He's blind in both eyes, and he has to get around and walk, with the help of his sister, which is my aunt, Lisa McClellan. She does 24-hour care with him. They live together. She's been an absolute angel with him, man. Shout outs to my aunt Lisa, man. She's like my second mother. She helped raise me, so she gave me a lot of insight on just the boxing game and stuff like that. So
So now, even though now he's completely blind, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now, even though he's completely blind, does he still listen to fights at all? Does he?
He's definitely, like, his mind still works. Like, his mind works like never before. So he's still the same, smart mouth, witty, funny person. Like, that's him. And, I get everything from him. So, his personality is vivid, is colorful, man. So, and that's how mine is. I'm a people person. I attract a lot of people.
Well, it's good to hear, man, that he's still doing really well, because I know there's a lot of fans out there that loved your dad, and he definitely entertained a lot of fans, and he gave a lot to the sport of boxing, man. So it's good to hear that he's still being taken care of, and that he's still in good spirits, and doing what he can, and people are helping him out.
Yeah.
So, and like I just showed you, I got his career set, so I'm a fan too, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No,
man.
I appreciate you coming on the show. This is an honor. I mean, unfortunately, I never had the pleasure of meeting him or interviewing him, but hey, I get to interview you, the next generation. So I'm excited about that, and to see where your career is going to head to. So
it's an honor. It's an honor. Just to come from boxing royalty, and just to have that love and that passion for the sport. And even after what transpired, with my father, that's still, like, I still got that drive, and that I'm just motivated. I'm motivated by him and inspired by him. So I'm just happy to be a part of him and continuing on the legacy.
So, all right, speaking of that, you actually have a fight coming up. So let's talk about that. When actually is it, and where is it at? So
I will be fighting at the end of this month in Houston, Texas, at the Red Owl Boxing Arena on the 29th of March. You guys, everybody out there, I got the link on my Instagram. I got the link on my Facebook, the pay-per-view. So if you guys want to, tune in, and watch greatness, watch history in the making, watch a young fighter, continue on a legacy that, was placed by my father. So,
Now, do you have your opponent yet or no?
Well, we have two opponents right now. We have two opponents, so and this is boxing. Anything can happen. Anything.
Yep.
Some can so with my last fight, January 20th, which was a second round knockout. My last fight, I was scheduled to fight one guy, and then probably like 3 weeks before the fight, him, his wife, and I think two of his kids caught COVID. So anything subject to happen, man.
Okay, well, like you said, you got links on all your pages. The fans can go check out the links and pay to watch you fight. And like you said, check out Greatness in the Making. All right, so you ready to get to these random 20 questions?
I'm ready.
All right, question 1. Now, I don't want to talk about the boxing yet. I just want the fans to learn a little bit. Tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit.
Okay, so my father, like everybody know, who's a fan of boxing, my father was a world champion. He has 3 kids. I'm the oldest. Then I have a younger brother that's probably like a year or so up under me, and then I have a baby sister. So I'm the oldest, and he got hurt in '95. So '95 pretty much changed the dynamic of everything in all our lives, everything. So, from 1995, I probably was like 7, 8 years old. Everything was just off. Everything was different. My behavior as far as school, um, me wanting to, just, be around my mom, instead of, my dad, because you know, the living situations was different, So,
yeah, at 7 years old, you don't understand what's going on
yeah,
with all that.
yeah. So I go from riding in the latest, expensive cars and going to training camps with my dad and doing this and doing that to, none of that happening. So I went to because my father and my mother they wasn't together. So I went to go stay with my mother, and my mom, she has other kids, and just growing up in a household without a father that's like real hands on and just right there at every moment with you, it's different, and so I come up in school, I'm getting in trouble, regular teenager stuff, man, and probably like around like 16, I was ventured off into the streets and getting in trouble, and because I didn't have that father, or that I didn't have that role model, to stand on top of me. So um, I was in the streets. I let the streets raise me a little bit, joining gangs, getting in trouble, and in and out of juvenile and stuff like that. Then I want to say about 17 years old is when I first stepped into the amateur league. And when I stepped
Okay,
in,
let me get to that on the next question.
okay.
So we'll leave it right there on your upbringing. And then question 2 is, how did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
So like I said, I was running wild, man. Like I was in gangs, I was getting in trouble. I had dropped out of high school and stuff like that. And one day I had got this call. This guy had called my phone, and he first thing he said was, "Is this Gerald McClellan Jr.?" And I asked him, I say, who is this? So he introduced himself, Patrick Coleman. Patrick Coleman is from Rockford, Illinois, which I was in Freeport, Illinois at the time, which is only 30 minutes away from each other. But Patrick Coleman is a ex-pro welterweight champion. Okay, so my aunt and Patrick Coleman, um, they come together, they talking, and she like, listen, my nephew, he needs some guidance. Patrick had his own gym at the time, training amateurs and training pros. So he was like, you know what? I'll give him a call. I got the most respect for, you, his dad and y'all family. So I'll reach out to him. So that's when I got the call. And Patrick introduced himself to me, said he knew my Aunt Lisa. And then, he was just like, listen, I hear you like street fighting. I hear you like fighting. I hear you can fight good. So instead of street fighting, why don't you just come to the gym, check it out, man? And if you don't like it, you ain't never got to come back again. So I did that. I took him up on his offer. I did that. And that's when I, got the amateur boxing.
Okay. Got the bug.
Yeah.
All right. Question 3. Tell me your boxing Mount Rushmore.
My boxing Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, your top 4 favorite guys.
I was going to say 5, man.
You can say 5. You can say 5.
Okay. So, number 1, my father. 2, Tyson. 3, Mayweather. 4, let's see. I can go back. 4, Thomas Hearns. 5, I have a brand new one. And I'm not being biased with this. I have a brand new one. My brand new one is Ron Collins. Ron Collins just so happens to be my coach that I've been with for my last 5 fights here from Texas. Now, the reason why I put him in there is because I've been around, a lot of trainers and even trained by ex-champions. I've been trained by Julian Jackson. And other champions, Patrick Coleman, but it's something about the way he trains me and his technique and his fighting style, and it's something similar to his fighting style. Even though I have my own, I have my father's power, his grit, his aggression, his way to hunt, like everything. But so my dad was a puncher. I'm a puncher. But my coach is teaching me to be a boxer, so I could be a complete puncher boxer. So I would have to say him because I love his style of training, and it goes with his own style. So he incorporating his style and my style. So
okay. Question 4. What kind of boxing advice have you gotten from your father, if any?
Oh man. So the most important thing that my father tells me is this. He says, even though he fought, from the opening bell, he going in there and going for the knockout. Now I used to fight like that, but after he told me this right here, he said, listen, you don't have to go in there and go straight for the knockout. Fill them out first. Box first. If the opportunity presents itself and you find an opening, take it. You don't have to go in there and just, firefight. And I know a lot of boxing fans, they ask the question, is he anything like his dad? Yes, no. I want to be a better version of my dad. I want to be me. I want to be SOG. That's son of Gerald. That's not Gerald. That's the son of Gerald, even though my name is Gerald also. But, I'm my own entity. I'm my own, So.
All right. Question 5. Is there anything you think you do better than your father did in the ring?
I would say defense. Because, and I pride myself on, boxing, and because, like I said, like my father was a pure puncher. His offense was his defense. So that's like Tyson. From the opening bell, like, Tyson didn't have to have defense because he coming straight forward. Now, he might come at angles, but he coming straight forward and he running through his opponent. So when have anybody ever seen Tyson on defense, have to slip block, shoulder roll. He didn't have to do none of that because he was coming straight forward. And that's how my father was. My father didn't have to slip, shoulder roll, get under. He didn't have to do any of that because he was so offensively sound that he didn't have to use any defense. And that's kind of like Roy too. Roy Jones didn't he was a freak of nature when it came to, being an offensive fighter. Like, when did the world ever see Roy Jones, have to use defense? We never did.
That's because his footwork was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, my coach, he knows that I'm a big puncher. He knows this. He knows that I get in there, I got a concrete chin. I'm not you got fighters nowadays who scared to take a hit to come in. They scared to engage. So they want to box from the distance and try to hit and not get hit, which that is the name of the game. That is. The name of the game is to hit and not get hit, but you have to take a chance. You have to take a chance. I'm willing to take that chance to come in and exchange. I will engage. I will. There's no secret about me engaging. I will.
Okay, question 6. What is something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
My boxing fans don't know about. I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter.
There you go. Okay, I like that. That was good.
It's like my life is like, we didn't have social, well, like my father, and everybody in his day and age didn't have social media to where, you get to engage with, the upcoming pro boxer, prize fighter, the champion. You didn't get to engage and see what they do from their, day-to-day life. Like me, like I'm on all social media platforms. I got thousands and thousands of, followers, on my social media platform. So, I'm daily engaging, whether it's at home with my family and my kids, and, whether I'm at the gym, I'm making them a part of my experience, on the road, on the journey to becoming great. So they see all this. They see everything that I do every day. They're gonna be they probably looking at this right now as we speak. So, they knew I had this, interview coming. They know that I'm gonna go to the gym later on. They damn near know my schedule. So,
Okay. All right, question 7. What were the positives and the negatives growing up being a son of a 2-time world champion?
Well, I would say first and foremost, the negative side would be my father being hurt. And it's been 29 years now. The anniversary just was like last month, February 25th. It made 29 years. So 29 years, my father has been blind and hasn't been normal, like a normal father, so that would be the negative. But the positive would be, he's my father. He is a great man. He did what he did in the sport. He made history. I constantly on my social media, get messages and from people all over the world, man. Your dad was my favorite fighter, man. There won't be another like him, man. Just because I was a big fan of him and followed him, man, I am a fan of yours now, and I'm following you. Whatever you do, I'm following it. So, that's a good plus right there, man.
So now, was there any other negatives? Like, did kids in school try you because who your dad was, or when you started boxing, did some of them guys try to put it on you in sparring to see if you had what your dad had, things like that?
And when I say that I was never tested, because I always showed that, I'm him. I'm the guy that, in my age group and probably like two, three grades higher than me, I'll be able to, beat anybody. So, you know, if I'm 14 years old, man, I can kick the shit out of a 17, 18-year-old. So like,
Okay.
you know, and that always stuck with me in my area, my community, you know, in my hometown. Everybody always knew that I knew how to fight. Everybody.
All right. Question 8. What's something that you're very passionate about besides boxing?
My kids. My family. Family's everything. Family, it like listen, like my dad was real big on family too. So and my aunts, his sisters, and his brothers, they all see that, and they tell me all the time, like, man, you just like your dad, man, and like they said out the blue, and I'd be like, how? They'd be like, man, you with your family, your kids, man, just the way you know how you are with them, like you know you love on them so much, like it's just like looking at your dad how he was with you. So
Okay. Question 9. Have you ever had an incident where you thought you were going to die?
uh nah, not I mean an incident, like even in the face of like something catastrophic happening to me, like, or you know, something like a big deal, like, nah, I didn't think I was gonna die. Nah, cause I have this, and it's not being cocky, but I have this ultimate confidence within myself to where, you know, I just feel I got this. I could take it, you know. I got a relationship with God, you know, so I trusted him that he's gonna get me over, you know, and past anything in this world. So, you know, and like there's like I've been in a car accident before, you know, and I mean it wasn't like a fatal car accident, like nobody died, anything like that. But you know, right when the car, you know, sped out of control, man, at a high speed, and you know, right there in that moment, I didn't think I was gonna die. You know, I braced myself. I was like, man, we're gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
Okay. So you never even had any type of situations when you were involved in the gang stuff too, where there was some close calls?
Hey, now that's a different story right there. That's I try to keep it PG, but you know, that's like I I've had a lot of experience like that. Yeah, I have a lot of experience where like, you know, um there's been a couple incidents where, you know, guns were involved and stuff like that, and you know, shootouts and things of that nature. But, you know, even then, like I said, like I didn't think I was gonna die, even with like bullets, you know, flashing past my, you know, and I could like this. I didn't think I was gonna die because I knew that, not to say that I can't die, but it's not my time. I know I have better great things to accomplish and do. There's so many people looking up to me, so I know that I have to do great things before I.
Okay. All right. Question 10. Who's the one boxer that you'd have to get your picture taken with and possibly an autograph if you ran into him?
So um and I've met Joe Frazier. I've met Thomas Hearns, Sugar Shane Mosley. Um at my second pro fight, it was on a Roy Jones Jr. promotion card.
But
And I,
that's what I mean. You've met so many. So who's the one guy that if you just ran into him, you'd be in awe and be like, man, I got to get a picture and a signature?
I Now I would have said, if I hadn't met him, I would have said Tyson, but Tyson sat front row ringside and watched me beat my opponent in my second pro fight. And after that, I went to my dressing room, put my clothes on, and sat down next to him and was talking to him, took pictures with him. So who Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay, that's a good answer. Question 11. So up to this point in your career, who has been the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
You know, it's crazy. Somebody asked me that the other day. It was like, man, who hits the hardest? That see, because I live in Houston now. I live in Houston, Texas now. So I've been living here about 2 years now. I've been living in Illinois all my life, so I'm living in Houston, Texas now, and um, the competition down here is way it's on a whole different level from back home. And I've sparred I don't know how many guys in different gyms and stuff like that, and I'm trying to like I try to rack my brain on that question, and there's some hard hitting guys, but there's like they don't hit hard enough for me to not walk them down and engage with them because that's me. That's just how I fight.
Yeah, but you've never got that one shot in sparring where you were like, damn, that
Nah,
dude like really
nah, not
no.
not to where I didn't run back on them like because you got like say for instance me, I got the type of power to where I would hit a guy, boom, crack him, and then he would get the retreating, and he wouldn't be the one to try to engage. I would be on the stalk mode and chasing him around.
Okay,
So
so you ain't ran into that guy yet in sparring.
nah, no, I haven't. I
You haven't ran into that mirror image in the sparring ring yet.
haven't. Now, there's some tough guys, man. There's some tough guys that I didn't put it on, and they like the firefight, man. Shout out to the Mexican community, man. The Mexican community, man. Hey, listen, man. You. The Mexicans, they really you got to put them down, man. You got to put them down, like. That's why I have a lot of respect for Mexicans, man. A lot of respect, because they're so prideful that you literally have to put them down. And this is in sparring. You have to put them down. They just got that Mexican pride about them, man. That just won't let them just die, man.
Okay. Question 12. If you got into a street fight with three guys, what two boxers would you choose to be on your side to fight with?
Let me see. Like, can it be boxers from like older or they got to be young?
No, because it's just a fantasy matchup. I'm just saying in general.
Man,
You could have anybody. You could even have your dad if you want.
Listen, like I always go to him. Like I daydream sometimes, like after like a long day of training in the gym, and I'll just be like, man, like say on a sparring day. After I spar, I probably like 10 rounds with like 3 different people, and it'll hit me. I'll be like, man, I wonder what it'd be like if me and my dad you had shared the ring and sparred with each other, man. So my dad would be number one. That would be one of the guys that I would have in a street fight with me, and my little brother, man. My little brother, Mandel. Mandel is my dad's second son, man. Mandel is a year and a half younger than me, and man, he has a McClellan power. He can punch his ass off, man.
So he's a fighter too?
Yes, he is. But he's currently in Detroit, Michigan. So
now is he a pro or is he an amateur?
He's amateur. He's amateur right now. He's amateur.
Okay. All right. So question 13. If you had to spend 30 days in a jail cell, what comedian would you choose to be your cellmate?
Mike Epps. Mike Epps. Without a doubt. without a doubt. Mike Epps. Mike
that'd
Epps.
be a funny 30 days
Oh,
in that cell.
Mike Epps is hilarious, man. Now I got a lot of favorite comedians: Martin Lawrence, Cat Williams, um, Eddie Murphy, a whole lot. But Mike Epps, he got it.
Okay. Question 14. Do you have a favorite NFL football team?
Uh, Currently, no. I'm so into boxing, man. Like I live, eat, breathe boxing. I'm just so into boxing that I don't watch anything else. Like the Super Bowl, I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I mean, no pun intended, man. But I breathe boxing.
All right. Question 15. If you were an insect, what insect would you be?
I would be a praying mantis. I see how those things get down, man.
Okay.
They don't play. They don't play at all.
All right. Question 16. If you could have any musical artist walk you out to the ring for a fight, who would it be?
Any musical artists?
Yep.
Right now, currently, my little brother raps. He go by the name of Breadwinner Z, and he's actually down here. He just flew down here, and he's shooting a music video this weekend. So I may make a little small cameo in the music video. But he next up right now. Breadwinner Z.
Okay. Question 17. What is your proudest moment of your boxing career to this point?
That I mean, each time, win, lose, or draw. Even though I don't go in there with the mindset of losing anything. Hey, like I'm really a warrior. Like my mindset is you got to kill me. So, I literally each fight that I pass and I'm able to, I still got all my faculties and everything, like, because my dad's last fight was my dad's last fight. So anytime I get to fight and keep on fighting, I'm able to keep on fighting. That right there is an award and achievement in itself, man. I get
Okay.
fighting.
All right. Question 18. What are your boxing goals over the next 5 years?
My boxing goals for the next 5 years, man. I mean, obviously have a title, be a title holder. But at the same time, though, I'm what you call the people's champ. Like, like a title won't make me. A title won't make me, and I won't be discouraged if I don't get a title shot. Because I'm the people's champ. Like, my supporters, I don't even like to call them fans. My supporters are so tapped in and tuned in with me, and they know where I come from as far as, my lineage and my father, and I'm making my own name outside of that. It's just an experience, an achievement in itself. After the gruesome thing with my dad happened, you got fighters that wouldn't even touch the ring if something like that happened to their father. So, I'm stepping into the lion's den, you know, and 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 I'm doing what I love, and it's not gonna stop me. I'm very passionate about this. Anything that I'm passionate about and I love, man, nothing can deter me or derail me from seeing it out. So,
Okay. All right. Question 19. Do you have any boxing superstitions?
uh, nah, nah.
Okay. All right. Question 20. So now, if anybody's seen your profile picture on Facebook and the one that I use to promote this podcast, they realize that you got a lot of tattoos, man. You're covered. So my question is, question 20, Do you know the number of tattoos you have? And then tell me about some of them if you can, so the fans know what some of them mean.
Man. Do I know how many I have? No, I have no clue.
Do you even have an estimated guess?
No clue whatsoever. I've been getting tattoos since I got my first tattoo at the age of 13. And I remember my mom had slapped me in the back of the head when she seen I had it. And it was her name though. It was her name. It was a cross on my arm with her name on it with a rose. I still got slapped in the back of the head. But so I have my father's face on one of my shoulders, and it says heir to the throne, because I feel that, you know, he stepped down and I stepped up. The city of Freeport, you know, was behind him and was rightfully, you know, given to him. And he represented his hometown the best way you could ever represent your hometown and where you come from. And by me coming from that same place and me putting on and doing what I'm doing, you know, for me and my family and for them, I feel like, you know, I take pride in that, you know, everybody being behind me and standing behind me and supporting me. So, like I said, and that goes with, you know, being the people's champ. Like, they don't, like, all my supporters and everybody back home and everybody else, you know, that know me, like, they don't care if I get a belt or not. They happy to see that I overcame the life obstacles that, you know, I once faced. Because you got to remember, like I said, I was in the streets. Like, I actually did 7.5 years in federal prison. I spent all of my 20s in federal prison, then came home and went pro, and, you know, been boxing on Roy Jones Jr. shows and meeting with Tyson and being on pay-per-view and going out there to training camps to the Virgin Islands with Julian Jackson in my corner. So, like, I've made history. I'm one of the people that wasn't supposed to make it out that made it out. So my story is crazy. My story is crazy on top of my dad's story. So, you know, like I said, I'm the people's champ. Like, I got a big underdog story, and I'm gonna keep on defying the odds with what I'm doing.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time to come on and do the 20 random questions. If you got anything to say to the fans and promote the fight one more time before we go.
Yeah, so I just want to say, you can find me on Facebook, Gerald McClellan Jr. You can find me on Instagram, Gerald McClellan Jr. _SOG. And my mission, my goal is to be great. Is to achieve a better version of myself within the sport of boxing, as a person. You know, just I'm here to motivate. You know, if I'm here to motivate and inspire. If I can go through everything I went through, 7.5 years in the federal penitentiary as an adult, come home and go pro and accomplish so many things as far as adversity in life, and still maintain and drive and get up and push towards my dreams and my goals, then it's never too late for anybody. It's never too late for anybody to do what they want to do. So don't never give up. Keep striving. Keep pushing.
All
Use me.
right. And once again, when is that fight?
March 29th at the Red Owl Boxing Arena in Houston, Texas.
And they can find links on all your pages for it.
You can find links on all of my pages, on my Facebook and my Instagram. Facebook, Gerald McClellan Jr. Instagram, Gerald McClellan Jr. _SOG.
All right. Hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.